Need expert commercial finance brokers? Real Finance are a national firm led by seasoned bankers, offering unmatched expertise and extensive networks. They understand business and the banking market inside out, using their knowledge to structure and present your borrowing requests for the best income. They have strong relationships with specialist lenders eager to support entrepreneurs and businesses, providing unique and competitive financial solutions designed specifically for you. Ready to elevate your business? Contact Real Finance today and they will achieve your financial goals. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Mums in Property podcast. We're your hosts, Chloe Farrelly
and Jade Ellis.
Thank you for joining us today. So,
how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, really good. Positive week. What about you?
It's been a manic few weeks, hasn't it? We've both had so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's just seems to be so many different events and whatnot. So, yeah, what have you been up to?
So have I been up to? So last weekend we both went to the Property Investor Network awards, wasn't it, on a Saturday?
Yeah, black tie event,
which was absolutely amazing. I think we drank too much wine, maybe.
Far too much wine. What's the saying? Mums on the loose.
I think it is definitely mums on the loose, not mums in property now. That could be his little logo.
If you did see us there, apologise.
Yeah,
in
flicked
advance.
it a few times, but no, it's been really great. We got to make lots of new connections.
How did you find the event?
I thought it was really good. I found it quite inspiring looking at all the people on stage and just understanding people's journeys and kind of their experiences and how it's taken them to get to where they are. So yeah, I came away really driven to kind of just push forward in my journey. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I've got a picture on my phone of the 100k club.
Okay.
And like Susie Carter's up there and lots of amazing.
There was quite a few people when you were up there, wasn't there?
Yeah. I've took a picture of that and that's like my inspiration now. I feel like we need to set that as a goal.
Yes.
For next year, I want us up on stage, whether that's together or individually for our own goals, but we need to be up on that stage collecting an award. That has to be the goal.
We'll do it as well.
I think
We've got the drive to do it, haven't we? So,
yeah. So that was everyone, wasn't it, that's making 100k profit in property every year.
How many was there? There must have been about 20 people on that stage.
I think, in fact, yes, there was, I counted because there was four women.
Yeah.
And I think there was 16 in total.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking there was about a quarter of the winners were women.
We need to make that balance a bit better balance then, don't we, next year?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I thought it was a brilliant event. It was so good. Do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Driving back on the Sunday, I was reflecting.
Yeah.
And I felt so proud to think we literally only started this journey in January.
Yeah,
we went
it's crazy,
for our first PIN event in January. And to think how many people we knew in that room.
I'd say half the room. Like, really, we knew a lot of people there.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
A lot of people we knew on a personal level. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of people that we knew of.
Yeah.
Because we followed their journey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And reflecting on that's a really good, like it is a real community, isn't it?
And I definitely felt that in the room. And what I loved about it, even the people that we didn't know, everyone was so welcoming and so friendly. And that's what I love about these events. Like, I feel you expect when I went to my first PIN meeting, I was a bit intimidated. I expected everyone to be kind of up their own arse, do you know what I mean? And a bit guarded. But everyone's just so down to earth and they want others to do well.
Yeah.
I felt that on Saturday.
And also this is so true of PIN and we'll go into that in a minute anyway, but I always remember from our first PIN, Paul saying, everyone you need to do business with is in this room. Mm-hmm. And it's so true. And even at an event like that, I wasn't going with the intention of I know it's networking, but wasn't going with the intention of getting leads or getting contacts. But everyone is just wanting to connect with one another and do business together.
Yeah. Well, on the not the Sunday, but on the Monday, and even I did reach out to people that I connected with on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And I've had some great conversations since. Like, I've spoke to a new finance guy, which he invests in property as well. So even that connection, the conversation we had there was just so empowering and really helpful, because now I'm going to start to use him to like finance my deals. It was great. So that's a really good connection. And he wasn't even there. That was from connection with Have passed in this number. So yeah, even connecting wider than just that event, which is good.
The only thing is, I felt like I enjoyed myself so much, and there were so many people there that I wanted to catch up with. Like, there was a lot of people when I did the Property Entrepreneur Blueprint, Dan Hill's course, that I met there, that was obviously they're on the mastermind, and I didn't get to connect with them. But
there's always a next time.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely be there. We need to book our ticket for next year.
Do. Paul's already reached out by the way. Yeah, so... already early bird ticket. I think it's early bird ticket.
Early bird. Yeah, I'm all up for that. But no, it was a brilliant event, wasn't it? There was so much.
It was.
The food was great. There was so much wine.
A bit too much wine. I think I decked it twice or once.
Not bad. You got the bruises to show it.
And my legs forgot how to walk. So
yeah, well, like we say, mum's on the loose.
Yeah, and that was towards the end of the night. So I managed to get some good conversations in before.
Although, do you know what I am really, really disappointed about?
Go on.
I've still not met Simon.
Oh, no.
So I've been to like a few different events now with him. I've even been in a VIP room with him. And I still haven't even got close to meeting him.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
What is the
You
next
need to
event?
introduce me.
I will do. Yeah, I will. This is my friend.
She's dying to meet you.
Yeah. What else have you been up to then? Aside from the Pin Awards, what else have you been up to?
So obviously that was Saturday. I've had quite a lot of events recently. So a couple of weeks ago, I had the Property Entrepreneur Summit, which is ran by Paul Stapleton and Michelle Cairns. That was the second event that they've done. The first one was back in June, and that was brilliant as well. So it was in Milton Keynes, full day event, and it was really well organised. There's no sales to it. No, like...
Does it pull everyone from the industry? Is it like across different... Okay.
So they get loads of different speakers, like really big speakers from the industry. Yeah. And everyone has a slot on stage. Like Hayley Andrews was there. Richie Clapton was there. Like lots of big names. And then they do like Q&A sessions. So Joe Taylor was doing a Q&A on the social media panel. So that was really good. Obviously, Michelle Cairns did a live podcast with Hayley Andrews.
Amazing.
So that was interesting.
I need to watch that. I've not seen that anywhere.
I don't know if it's come out yet. I'll have to have a check.
Yeah.
So great day. I was fortunate enough. I had VIP tickets. So then during lunchtime, we had a really nice 2-course meal, sat down. And all the speakers from the day were sat on everyone's table. So I had Jamie York on my table, which was great. Yep. And I was sat next to Paul Stapleton. So that was really, really good.
Yeah. And what have you taken from? Did you take any like new connections from that? Like, what did you take away from?
Yeah. So I connected with somebody who does auction trading. That was in the VIP room.
Auction trading?
Yeah, so trades like auction houses. So that's really useful for me in my sourcing business to be able to get obviously lower value properties that I can shift quickly. And connected with some really good investors, plus someone who actually works with me as a bespoke investor. They were there, so I got to meet them in person.
Great. It sounds like a great event.
Yeah, it was really good, really worth the money.
Amazing.
What other events has there been?
I've done my workshop.
Mastermind.
My mastermind workshops. That was all. So I had the mastermind. I'm currently on some property trainings, which is with Simon Zucci for 12 months. So it's a property investor network training. I'll go into more detail later on. But we have one workshop a month.
Yes.
So
and where is that again?
It's in Birmingham.
Okay.
So we had the workshop on the Thursday, and then we had. Workshop on the Friday, should I say.
You went down Thursday, didn't you?
Went down Thursday, workshop on the Friday, and then we had the pin dinner on the...
And who was looking after the kids?
So Dom, the dad, was looking after the kids. I think he was quite stressed after that weekend.
So Thursday till Sunday.
But
that took some organising.
It did really well, but we got through it. We were fine. And then the rest of my week... I've just been viewing lots and lots of properties and just trying to build more relationships and finalise my property deals that I've got in the pipeline. So I've got a couple of deals in the Lake District.
Because you went up, didn't you? with your business partner?
Yes, down to, up or down.
Spend
Don't know which
up.
one it is.
It's definitely up.
Is it definitely up?
Definitely up.
Up, yeah.
Up and across.
Yeah, so we went down. We just literally, I don't think he realised how many properties we were viewing. But
Did you plan it all?
Yeah. We walked everywhere. I think we viewed about 15 properties.
Oh, wow.
And we got about 20,000 steps in.
So it was productive.
It was productive, yeah. But we had some great connections. We've had one offer accepted, so we just need to raise the finance for that now. So it's a luxury holiday let.
And is this going to be, this is quite a big...
It's a big project.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I say a big project, it's...
How many bedrooms is it?
It's a 7-bed, and then it's got like an annex outside that they rent out.
Oh,
So
nice.
It's really beautiful. It's beautiful already, but we want to tweak it and add our own stamp to it.
So does it need a little bit of renovation?
You could keep it as it is, but yes, for our standards, yeah, we want to
Make it more premium.
make it more, and just more niche it, like target it more to like our avatar, if you want to be, to make sure, yeah.
So offer's been accepted on that.
Offer's been accepted.
You need to raise finance.
Now we need to raise a finance, and hence why have put me in touch with his broker. We're having good conversations about like how we're going to finance it, etc.
Yeah, and are you looking for private finance as well as like bridging?
Exactly that. So it'll be both. So hopefully the bridge and then private investment on it as well.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting.
Brilliant. I've just thought as well, I also had Rosalia Lazara. I had her event, which was the Social Selling Hive in Manchester.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And that was the day that all the bloody snow came down.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I was up at 5:30. Up at 5:30, obviously, out the door by like 6 to get to Manchester. It was actually not too bad, the snow. And then, had an amazing event, which was all about like building your personal brand and how to gain leads from social media and things like that. So really, really good. And she's got a really, really good following with that. So I got loads of tips.
Just touching on what you said there, I think in this day and age now, it's really important to have that social media presence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's great.
Even if, like, I know it's hard, like social media is hard, but there's little things that you can do to put yourself out there. And even if it's just posting a still picture.
Consistency, isn't it, is the key. Yeah.
And showing people, documenting. I think that's everyone's biggest downfall is we don't document enough what we're doing. And it's things that we think are simple, like going to an event or attending a course or something, and we don't document it. And it's just, you've got to build that profile about yourself.
Absolutely.
So you came away with a lot from that event, and there were some amazing people also doing the event, which was great. And then she had an exclusive dinner in the evening in Manchester.
Any wine?
Yeah, but I was driving, so I was on my best behaviour that night.
And I wasn't there, maybe.
Yeah, you wasn't there to lead me astray. So so I didn't actually get home till 1 a.m, and then I was up at 6 the next morning with the kids because Ben leaves for work at 6, so he wasn't around. So I was
on adrenaline the next day then.
Yeah, and I had all 3 kids at home, so I was really tired, but it was good. It was worth it. Yeah. I think events, I've loved all the events recently. You just meet so many great people.
It's that time of year, isn't it? All the best events are like at the end of the year to recap and awards and
So we've had like really busy few weeks, haven't we?
You've been to a lot more events than me, I think.
Yeah, but I suppose you're on your masterminds,
it just takes a bit of time.
That's an event in itself, isn't it?
Next year, event-wise, we've got quite a few things coming up, like with the different retreats and the ski trip and stuff.
Yeah,
so
exciting.
I'll have lots to talk about at that point. Yeah.
So should we talk about how we met?
Yeah. So we met back in January, wasn't it? January 24.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah. It feels like I've known you a lifetime.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So we met at our first PIN, so property investor networking event. Yeah. Second Wednesday of every month.
Yeah, in Sheffield.
Yeah. Both on different journeys, aren't we, I guess? But we connected because of, I guess, being a mum, really. Yeah.
And I don't think we even knew that I can't remember now if we said at that point, oh, we're a mum.
No. I don't think we did.
We went to a networking event individually. We didn't know each other. And at the beginning, Paul gets all the newbies in. Yeah. And then we literally just met straight away. And we just clicked, didn't we?
Yeah.
We
became a regular on the front row, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, I like to sit on the front row. I like to be able to see.
Yeah. And we swapped numbers, did we? Like, what do we,
Yeah, we literally swapped numbers that night. Yeah. And I remember we texted the next day.
Yeah. And it's been like a really nice friendship, hasn't it, since?
Yeah.
Naturally. Yeah.
Well, we've remained in contact, haven't we? Every month we see each other at PIN.
Yeah.
We've even met up at the kids' play area.
Yeah, we did. Which was eventful again, wasn't it?
Yeah, I took the 2 kids.
Did I take mine?
No, yours were at nursery and school.
But
we've met up, obviously, with the kids.
Yeah.
And we've always checked in on each other.
Yeah. And I think you've been my like real support through it. And I think because property can be lonely, can't it?
Yeah.
And especially juggling the mum life and whatnot. I think you've kept me accountable and just my sounding board and spurred me on. It's been good to have someone who you can relate to.
Yeah. I think that's it, isn't it? It's you're kind of on your own journey, but you need that support and that person to pick you up when you're having them down moments and like what's the word, when you're really like unsure about what you're doing and having doubts about yourself.
Which is quite often, isn't it? I know one day I can be absolutely buzzing, thinking I'm achieving everything, I'm so going to be so successful, and then the next day something can just slightly not go right and you think, oh, I'm just doing absolutely crap.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
It is. It's up and down, like a yo-yo, isn't it?
And obviously, and I think from that's really, we have been each other's support over this, well, it's nearly a year now. And we've checked in on each other. We've built a really good friendship. And that's naturally where
this came from, isn't it?
Yeah. The mums in property, we felt like there's lots of mums in property out there and we're all just struggling on our own and there's a real gap for a community, isn't there?
And that's what we want to get to, isn't it? I think, like you said, there's a gap there. The reason why we've come together is to kind of bridge that gap, and we want to build, like you say, a community for mums to come and share their journeys, just have that, like not everyone has got what we've got, and it can be a lonely journey, so we want to create that space to allow people to have that support. Like, definitely. It'd be great.
And show not everyone is always open about the highs and the lows. So we want to share real life, what is happening on our own journeys and also other people's journeys. So if anyone ever wants to share what they're going through, and we can all...
I think it's really important that, because I know like when you get scrolling and in that social media kind of bubble, you do compare yourself a lot, and you need to remember not to compare yourself, but it's really hard, isn't it? And on social media, you just see everyone's successes. Yeah. And not even successes, like it comes across as a success, but it might not actually be.
You don't know what challenge they face to get there.
Exactly, and what's going on behind the door. So I think for me, what I want to make sure we do share the down bits. I think that's really important to make sure that people don't, because I think, what's the word? Like you can feel really down, can't you? By it. And I think you need to know that you're not alone, and everyone goes through the crap as well.
And not to compare, but also to lean on each other and to share. We're not all in competition together. We don't have to be guarded. We can share our experiences and grow from it together, because no doubt if you've told me a challenge that you faced that week, I've probably faced it the week before. Or you have, and we can help each other through it. Yeah,
definitely. And it's just having that sounding board, isn't it? Like just listening to someone else's approach, like it makes it really useful.
And I think also we all face challenges, obviously, throughout life, and every business and every property person, whether you're a mum or not a mum, but there is something quite unique about being a mum in business in general, and it is hard and it is challenging, and not just the physical everyday things, it's everything else that comes with it, the mum guilt and the organisation.
The mum guilt is so hard for me. Like I think I deal with that on a daily basis. Like, and I do really struggle with it, and you've got to be kind to yourself, haven't you? It takes me, like, for example, like when I work full time, so I'm working full time, I'm in property, I'm trying to grow my business at an accelerated, fast pace, and then I've got 2 children, like my little boy, he's 19 months, and my little girl's 5, so juggling all that, naturally you've got a lot going on in your head, so I do forget like the small things, and the mum guilt when that kicks in is like, I was at the workshop, the mastermind workshop, no one even told me this, Ellis got star of the week and I wasn't there, and my heart just sank when I was in that thing, and you're just thinking, what a how bad am I for not being there? But you've got to. The reason why I'm doing property at the same time is to give them choices and
to make a better life.
Make a better life for them, and it's. I get really cross at myself sometimes, and I have to take a step back and think, right, you're doing it all for the right reasons. It's just hard, isn't it, mum guilt?
It is. I don't think there's ever any way of overcoming it.
It's not a magic cure, is it, for it?
No.
You just got to know how to.
And also remember, the reason you've got mum guilt is because you care.
Yes, you're a good mum.
You're a good mum.
Yeah,
exactly. Like the thing, what we do is. We want everything. Mm-hmm. We want to be the successful businesswoman. We want to have the great property career. Yeah. We want to be the perfect mom. Yeah. And we try to juggle so much, and that's where the guilt comes in, because we want everything, but we're only one person.
And exactly that. And I try and remind myself like why I'm doing it, like what my values are, and the reason why I'm doing anything to do in property is to give my kids choices. Yeah. Like I've had a great upbringing, but I don't always. Financial choices, and just be the freedom to do what they want without having any pressure. And I think that's why I'm doing it. And also it's a short-term pain, so like it's so busy at the minute,
for
long-term gain. And like the reason why, like I want to be able to, like, I don't want to be trading like money for time. So
you want to enjoy the moment.
So you're right, I might be missing a few bits here and there now, but in a couple of months' time, in a year's time, I'll have that around. Freedom.
And it's not like you're away for weeks and weeks at a time. No. Which, do you know what? Some working mums are because they have to be.
Yeah.
It is tough. Mm-hmm. And obviously when you went away Thursday to Sunday, it feels a long time, and you've missed out on something that feels important.
Yeah.
But like you say, in the long run, you're going to be around a lot more for that.
And I think, you know, how I kind of deal with that. So yes, I was away Thursday to Sunday, but I knew like tomorrow we're going to Disney. So yes, it's been probably a busy month with everything that's going off, but we've got something good to look forward to, and it's family time. Do you know what I mean?
Got some real switch off from that family time. Like that's going to Disney and creating those memories. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it isn't about quantity of time; it's quality, isn't it? So you could be with your children every day and not really be present, but as long as you are getting those quality moments in,
memories, and makes it all worthwhile.
So. Just remind me. So Ellis is how old?
5.
Yeah. And how old's Enzo?
He'll be 2 in March.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just going through that devil stage, mischievous stage. He just chaotic.
Boys are wild.
Anything in the back, like he can't have anything neat. Like he doesn't even want the toys out of the basket. He just like chucks them up. Yeah,
like, tips them upside down.
Everything is up.
It's a boy thing.
Yeah,
boys.
He drew on my Venetian wall. God, and it wasn't just a little bit. It was like a. And this was on actually Sunday.
And has it come out?
Yes, because
it's a bit
textured. I just used I scratched it with a baby wipe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the paint has, but because it's like got a shiny texture to it, it's just got a bit shiny underneath. So I've got away with it.
Oh wow!
I know. Luckily, that wasn't it. It was nearly in the bin.
And more to come, I bet.
Oh, don't say that.
And so obviously Ellis is at school. Yeah. She started school this year or last year?
No, last year.
Okay. And Enzo, is he at nursery?
He's at nursery, full time.
Because you're working full time, aren't you?
So I work in my day job. I like to condense my hours down, so I'll do 4 days out of the 5.
And what type of role are you doing? Is it customer service?
No, so I'm in like a service performance manager. So I look after like the product experience and things.
So are you monitoring performance of your team?
Of products.
Right, okay.
Yeah, of products. So we're kind of like looking at making the performance better, like the journeys like more simplified, like streamlined. Yeah, so everything's got the customer end goal.
Okay.
Yeah, and like cost saving, like where can we save money and stuff.
And do you have a team under you?
No, I don't have a team under myself. I am classed as a manager, but manager of performance. Yeah.
Of that department.
I'm not a people manager. Don't think.
Like to manage yourself.
Like to manage myself.
Oh, people are hard to manage.
They are so hard.
I've managed people.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's not. That's not where my heart is to people manage. But some people love it, just not for me.
And you're doing a lot of hours, aren't you? Because you've condensed your hours into 4 days.
Condensed my hours, yeah. So I'll do 4 days, normal day job, and then Fridays. Enzo still does go to nursery. I try and shorten his days, bless him. But Fridays are my property day.
Yeah.
So I just try and get everything done on that Friday, whether it's viewings, like just conversations, Zooms. Yeah, everything's done on that. And sometimes if I have got a bit of mum guilt and I haven't got a busy Friday, I will bring you along with me.
Yeah.
And stuff. What? So how old are yours?
So I've got Bray, who is 3.
Yeah.
Orly, who is 2.
Oh, God.
And Lowen, who is 1. So I've got
I don't know how
a
you
1,
do
2,
that.
and 3-year-old.
Like, how long was you pregnant for? Like 4 years then? Like,
I was pregnant
constantly?
from 2019. No, sorry, I'm lost. From 2020
Yeah.
until 2023. Doesn't sound long, but I was still breastfeeding this year, 2024.
You're like a milk farm.
Yeah, so it's literally like 4 years I was pregnant and breastfeeding.
You was
non-stop.
breastfeeding when you first came to the pin when we first met, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first pin meeting. So Lowen was only 2 months old.
Yeah.
And had to leave him to obviously come to the meeting, but I'd fed him before and whatnot. But oh my God, I remember going to the toilet.
Yeah.
My boobs were solid and were
There's nothing worse than that pain, is there?
too much information maybe, but they were literally
Leaking.
like pumping at they were so sore. I couldn't wait to get home and just and release it.
Yeah.
But obviously it was the only way because I was exclusively breastfeeding. So
Did you take a hacker with you?
no, I did consider it, but thankfully I didn't because there wasn't enough time I was in the toilets just trying to release it. But oh God, a bit mad. But yeah, so I've got a 1, 2 and a 3-year-old. It's all very hectic. It's not necessarily how I envisioned everything would go, but
sometimes you've got to roll with it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So do they go to nursery or does Bray go to?
Well, sorry, Bray, my eldest, he goes to preschool 3 days, but the other 2 are just at home with me.
So how do you juggle your property with the kids then? Like it doesn't sound like you've got much of a break.
So until 2 weeks ago, they were with me every day, but now on a Monday, my auntie has started to have them. So I do property all day on a Monday without any interruptions. So that's really, really good.
I think Mondays are really good, to follow up. I think after the weekend, if you've done all your viewings, Mondays are really good property day.
And you can still do your work over the weekends and then you're fresh. And I tend to do a lot of viewings on a Monday. But basically, obviously mine are at that age where they still nap. Even my 3-year-old, he still naps religiously. I've had them all in a very, very strict routine.
Yeah.
I'm very regimented.
Yeah.
And I get them down for their nap. And so normally what I do is in the morning, we go out, we do an activity, whether that's playgroup.
Wear them out.
Wear them out.
Do laps.
Oh, God, yeah.
You will sleep.
So much energy. So we'll do an activity, get them home, get them down for their nap. I've got then a good solid 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
No housework gets done, but my business gets worked on.
Question, have you got a cleaner?
No, but it's...
I need one.
In the talk at the moment.
I need one, but I can never find a good one. So if you get a good one, sure.
I don't think they'll travel to your neck of the woods.
Maybe not. No.
But no, I think a cleaner is such an undervalued aspect of your business.
Yes.
It's a business tool.
It is, exactly. Like you've got to, when time's limited, you've got to really own in on what's important. Like, is it important to go and clean your house and do a deep clean, or is it important to go and find deals, negotiate? And it's that balance, isn't it? So,
And pay someone that's professional at doing it properly. Pay them for what works for them, and you concentrate on what you're good at, which is, closing the deals or getting them over the line. So, no, we don't have a cleaner, but we have spoken about it. So, I get them down for the nap, do the work, and then get them up. And then when Ben comes home, I hand them over. And I either go out, hand them over.
Here you go.
Here's your children. They're fed, bathed and washed. And then I go out to events, networking, or go and meet someone, or just go and sit in another room and get my admin done.
Yeah. Question, in terms of, like, because you've got the kids during the day and I work during the day, do you find it hard to have the calls in an evening? Like, do you know, like, when do you find people are kind of flexible, or do you...
I don't personally push for calls in an evening because I've got that window in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But I have found more people
more flexible, aren't they?
Yeah, like one of my investors I'm working with, they always seem to ask for after 5, which suits me because Ben's in, so I can go outside to another room or whatever. So I think some people, because if other people are in a job, they can't take the calls during the day themselves anyway. So I find, people are quite flexible.
I've only come across one person that wouldn't be flexible. And I guess because they do like not more, they know what works for them. So it's like a 9-5, I don't know, not 9-5, but yeah. But everyone else is normally really flexible with me.
Yeah, and obviously for you, because you work other than a Friday, you need to do yours after work, don't you?
After 6:30. So
which is
sometimes I'm working till about 11 o'clock at night.
Same.
Yeah, I try and I could go on for longer, but I just sometimes think, because I'm gonna get tired. What's the value? Like I'm not really doing it to the best of my ability, so I make sure I try and do no later than 11.
It's so easy though, isn't it? Just to sit on the laptop and just keep going because you enjoy it.
Yes, I do love it.
It's hard to put it down, isn't it?
Yeah, and but I think it depends on what I'm doing. Like stacking, I can't stack deals late at night. I've got to be fresh and do that in the morning where my brain's working, because you know what my brain's like. Sometimes it's like it's got a short space of time where it works.
Do you like search for?
I tend to use my evenings as doing investor packs or like looking for properties.
Yeah,
do you know, and kind of just researching. Or the analysis around it.
Yeah,
like getting the data in terms of like what the rental rates and things. Comparables. That's the word I'm looking for.
And it's so time consuming, isn't it? So
it is.
Every bit of time you can spend doing it just helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's making sure you're doing the right. I could sit scrolling looking, because I'm a creator. You know, have you done your wealth dynamics?
Yeah.
I am such a creator, and I mean very strong creator. So I can sit looking at deals all day long. I have to really, really have a hard, strong word with myself to make sure that I do the other bits.
Yeah.
Because I never get anything done.
Yeah, never progress to the next level.
I get not bored. I just like that next deal. Once I've got the deal and I know the deal's there, I'm like, right, need to find something else. David, he's like, how many more deals are you going to give me?
let's progress a deal.
Focus on these first, and then funny.
It's interesting, the wealth dynamics, isn't it?
It is.
I am a creator.
I think I was going to say I knew what you're going to be.
But do you know what? I can tell you're a creator, because even when we were starting this, you're like me in so many ways. Like as soon as starting it, you're like, right, we need to do a logo, we need to do this, we need to we've got an idea, we need to run with it.
Yeah.
And I'm very much like that. And yeah, it's funny, isn't it? When you understand,
you would be. See, I'm definitely a strong creator, but I'm more mechanic.
Yeah.
So I do like my numbers and things, but I am quite spread out across the others as well. So
okay.
I can be. I'm a bit blaze. I'm very, very even. But I think you are more blaze and creative. Yeah. I think you're very even as well. So you do like seeing things through to the end.
Yes.
You're very driven and Yeah,
well, we're both very ambitious, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hence why
we're here.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
So, so you obviously you've got your two children. So how long have you been doing property, and what made you go into it fully as you are now?
So I've always loved property. So my granddad, he was a builder. My dad was a builder.
Oh, was your dad a builder?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He wasn't. So he stopped years ago when the first recession hit. I can't remember.
2008.
Might have been before that.
Oh, okay.
When I was young, so like in the 90s. So he stopped then and he went into a different avenue, but he's always had his fingers in it still. So yeah, always loved what they do.
And then his dad was a builder as well.
My granddad's been a builder all his life. Yeah. This
literally sounds like my family.
Yeah. Well, we actually lived. My dad built a house when I was born, and they were like, "Oh, you're daft. You're not going to be able to build on it, whatever." And he built this house. This house is amazing, by the way. But yeah, we lived when I was younger in the house that he built. It was lovely, a lovely house. And I always see it now driving by. I'm like, why didn't we stay there?
Oh, wow.
But no, that's why I got into it. And like when you're younger, we used to love what's that program called? With a guy on it. They build them.
Not Grand Design.
Grand Designs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love that.
Yeah, and seeing how it comes to light.
And my granddad's always loved architecture as well. So when he got older, he started to build dolls' houses, but from scratch. So like Tudor houses.
Does he still do it?
No, he's not. Oh. Sadly, he's not here now.
Oh,
but
sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah, he used to do all that, and that's given I loved it.
So do you think that's where your passion came from?
Yes.
Like growing up?
Exactly that. And when I first went into it, I never thought I want to be big in property. I bought my first property in 2019, so just on maternity. I had a bit of savings.
So who was that, on your own?
Yes.
Or with Dom?
Yeah, on my own. So first investment property, not my first house. Yeah. So I'd sold my house that I had on my own. Made quite a bit.
So did you buy your first house on your own as well? Oh, I did. Yeah. Independent women.
Yeah, independent women. So yeah, bought my first house, and then didn't really do much to it. To be fair, just made it look like presentable. Made a decent profit on that within. I think I had.
This was 2019.
No, I bought my first property when I was 21.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 5 years before that. So whatever year that is.
I have no idea.
I'm not thinking like that now. But yeah, so I bought that before. So I sold the house, and then I bought the house with me and Dom and the kids. I was on maternity, so I had lots of savings from that because I saved up. And then I also had a bit of cash left over from the house as well.
Yeah.
So then I reinvested that into another property. Yeah.
And have you got that as a buy-to-let?
Buy-to-let, yeah.
So are these all in Worksop?
No, I was thinking about this driving here today. All my properties, are all in like ex-mining villages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and because it's got a really strong rental demand, yeah. And I don't think, from my experience, that people, because they're all like all the families there, they don't really want to move out.
Yeah, long-term tenants.
Yeah, my first property, we didn't do much to it. Light refurbs, put new kitchens in, floors.
Did your dad help with this?
He did, yeah. My dad's my biggest support in all this. So yeah, he helped with that. And then light refurb. We've never had any voids in that house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and not even this. I've had two tenants in it in that long time. In that time.
That's amazing.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's brilliant. But that's what you want, isn't it? And then they treat it like their own.
And it's a 3-bed terrace, but the footprint's great, and they're built really good, the houses. So then remortgaged that, released some equity out of it, then bought the next one again in another mining village.
Yeah.
And then that one we did a bit more work to it, probably too much.
Okay.
Really. So we opened up downstairs and made it open plan. Moved. It was a 2-bed. And made it into a 3-bed.
Oh, well, that was adding value, so that was worth it.
Yeah. So we did that, and then I bought my third property, again, another different mining village, but they're all like within 15 minutes from each other. And that's a semi, again, a 3-bed semi, and that was a light refurb, to be fair, as well.
So at this point, then you've got 3 buy-to-lets, all in similar sort of villages.
All in similar villages. And I've got my 4th one going through now, which I've bought really below market value. And that's not in a mining village. That's just in Worksop.
And what's the vision for that one?
Just going to keep it as a single buy to let. The numbers
you'll have
work.
4 in the portfolio.
In the portfolio. Yeah.
So you were actually doing the BRRR
without knowing it before. Yeah. I know it now, but I can remember sitting in that first PIN meeting. Did you think, what are all these acronyms?
Yeah.
Like, just talk to me.
I know.
Normal.
But obviously, yeah. So for anyone listening that doesn't know, it's buy, refurbish, refinance.
Yeah. So I was doing that.
Yeah, so you were doing that, and you were doing it well.
Yeah, I was doing it well. But then, like, I did come, you run out your own money after a bit, don't you? Like, I did buy well, I bought well, but then there's just not enough money to release it to buy something. The house prices have gone up a bit more. So
and it's still not going to replace your income.
No, exactly.
You're not going to leave your job for it, are you?
But it got good capital growth with them. Yeah. So it's that balance, isn't it?
So you hit that brick wall and thought,
like, where do I go next? And I just thought, like, there's got to be a way that I don't need to use my own money.
Yeah.
And I can remember being in December, so a year ago, I'm like, right, there's got to be something. I'm watching these people on social media, thinking there's got to be something. And
who was you watching?
Simon. I was watching Simon. Yeah. And then I came across Simon.
Yeah.
And then he had a code on, coming to your first PIN meeting.
Yes.
For free. So like, right, I'm on that. Booked on it, and then it's just.
And then obviously it went in January, which is when we met.
Yeah. And it's just been. And then,
and
I can remember sitting in the front of the room. You know, they have the banners out. And what did it say? Replace your income in 12 months or something like that. And I'm like,
yes.
And it had the price on it, didn't it? Did it have the price on it? Or someone told?
No, I think someone told us, didn't they? Well, Andy Tattersfield was on the mastermind, wasn't he?
Can I say it on here? Do you think the price of it?
I think so. Yeah.
So it's £30,000, and I was thinking, my mind was just blown. I was thinking, who on earth pays that? That's a house.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think we actually had a conversation about that. We were like, oh my God, he's paid £30,000 for that.
I remember sitting there in that cost mindset, thinking, nah, that's not for me. And then the Simon and the property mastermind, they do like what was it, like
the accelerator?
Not an accelerator, but they do every year. They do like they give a grant. Is it a grant or bursary to do the mastermind for free?
Oh yeah, well we both applied, didn't we?
Yeah, so I applied for that,
but we didn't get it.
Didn't get it. Stephen got it.
Simon, next time.
Yeah, Stephen got it, and every time I see him, I give him a little boot because he's on our mastermind. But I got a runner-up prize.
Yeah, and you got
so
£1,000 off, was
£1,000 off that. So we went to the accelerator, the 3-day course.
And you took your dad, didn't you?
I took my dad, yeah. And I was a bit sceptical about taking my dad, but he absolutely loved it. And I can remember being sat on the last day, and they're doing like the talks, like explaining why it's so good to do the program, and
which is the 12-month
program
mastermind.
Yeah. And I looked at my dad and I expected him to say, no, you don't need to do that. And he was at the back of the room signing me up. And I was like, how on earth am I going to pay for this? Like,
signing away any bit of savings
that I've got. Yeah. But, I mean, I want to caveat, there's so many other different training groups out there.
Oh, of course, yes.
I think when you are going into the training element of it, you've really got to do your due diligence and make sure that you're picking a company or... Was it company?
Yeah, training provider
who you resonate with. And
not run and jump straight away.
Yes.
Take a step back, see what people are doing, and really figure out what you want to do before you run and jump into training.
I think I did run a little bit.
You did it first.
I did run a bit.
Signing up to a few different courses, weren't you?
But the reason why I picked PIN is because, one, they're ethical, and that's one of my big values. And two, they just came across really professional. Professional.
Well, they've been going for so long, and they're still around.
Yeah,
and still doing well. And so that shows.
The awards spoke for themselves, didn't it? And I just saw the caliber of people coming through it, out of it, like doctors and solicitors. That's where I wanted to be with that type of group. So
I think when you did that, because I remember you sort of signed up to quite a few courses at once.
Yeah,
and then as soon as you sort of did mastermind, it all made sense.
It did.
Like, you were just trying to figure out where you wanted to go with the other courses, and then I think you found mastermind, and everything just made sense for you.
Yeah. What about yourself? Where?
So similar. My granddad and my dad and my uncles have always been builders, still are builders.
I've got so many good connections.
I know. We didn't even know this, did we? But so I've come from a family of builders, and just growing up, I've always moved around, not for any, we're not on the run from the bailiffs or anything. But just growing up as a family, my mum is part of a very big family. She's one of 9. So we had different aunties and uncles living around, and we just all used to move. And in fact, I actually counted the other day, I've lived in 23 houses, a pub and a caravan.
A caravan?
A caravan, yeah. I'll tell you that one in a minute.
Yeah.
So I've never been attached to houses. I've always liked moving. I've liked that aspect.
Yeah.
Always knew that, did the typical thing. I grew up watching Homes Under the Hammer. Absolutely loved the transformation of things. Wanted to get into property.
Yeah.
I remember going to an event in Leeds, and that's when I heard about Rich Dad.
Okay.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Is it called that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So came across which is how so many people obviously come into property investing. But I didn't actually read the book.
Okay. What did you do?
Controversial.
Listen to it.
I had the CD.
I mean, all about time saving.
I mean, this is 2016.
Yeah.
But my job role, so I've come from the beauty industry. I've always been in the beauty industry. I had my first business at 19, which was a beauty salon. Had that for 5 years. Then I'd gone more down I was a business development manager for the last 10 years in the beauty industry. So my job was field-based. I was out on the road every day. Okay. Some days I'd drive.
So you had time to listen then?
Yeah, exactly.
I see your reasons.
I would drive every day for minimum 5-6 hours. I'd be driving up and down to Newcastle, Scotland and back. So I was in the car and I wanted to be productive with my time. So I remember I had a Spanish CD. I was learning Spanish.
Okay.
And I had...
Is that for your next house? Wait, is that for your move?
Yeah, exactly. home away from home, and I had Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I would listen to that. And yeah, anyway, I ended up flipping my first house on 5 credit cards.
5 credit cards?
Yeah.
How did that feel? Was it a bit squeaky bum time?
No, I wasn't. Everyone around me, all my family were like, they knew I'd got these credit cards. They were all maxed out. So I bought the house. I had the deposit. I bought it by myself. It was a terraced house, 3-bed in Sheffield. And I used the credit. I got 5 credit cards, and I used the full credit limit to do the refurb.
Yeah,
so to buy all the products and stuff. Yeah. Obviously, I paid the tradesman, but I would use that to buy everything for the house.
That's the prime example there. I think people are so scared about debt, but that's using it,
leveraging
good debt, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a difference between bad debt and good debt. It's not like you've gone and maxed your credit cards on a shopping spree at Meadow Hall or something like that. No. You've done it to make more money.
And everyone around me, my mum, my aunties, my cousins, everyone was like, oh my God, like, Chloe, what are you doing with these credit cards? But I had a plan, and I knew I'd got...
You got a clear exit.
Then, this was 2017, you got like 36 months interest free.
Yeah.
So I had a plan. I knew I was going to do this house up, refurbish it and sell it. And then I'd pay the cards off. I even had the card, each individual card was in a plastic wallet with the documents, the PIN code.
Yeah.
And they were in a filing cabinet in my cellar. In my cellar,
so you could never get to them.
They were never
maxed out, so you won't be able to use them anyway.
Genuinely never purchased one single item on it. It was purely property.
That's great.
And I mean, I was very naive. I thought, I've watched Homes Under the Hammer. I know how to renovate a house. I'm just going to knock this wall down, knock that wall down.
Did you do a lot of like knocking walls around?
Oh,
and stuff?
yeah. And I was actually commuting between, I was living in London at the time.
Okay.
And my head office that I worked for was in Leeds. Yeah. So I was commuting between London, Sheffield, Leeds. It was all very, very hectic. But yeah, I just thought, I'm going to knock this wall down, knock that wall down. Didn't realise that you've got, didn't realise you've got to like get an electrician in to turn the electrics off before you knock that wall down. Or really, I learned the hard way, and I pretty much cried every single day.
Yeah.
It was very stressful.
How long did it take you, the renovation?
Oh, it was literally 5 months.
That's not too bad.
And
that's juggling it and doing it yourself.
Oh, yeah. And in that time, I went to Canada for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. So
with my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been done a lot shorter. But and that was my first project as well.
Yeah.
But I can only describe the pain of that first renovation as like childbirth.
Okay.
It's a pain
Kept
you
going.
forget.
You want to do it again?
Yeah. Like, so literally, I remember crying every day, finding it really difficult, because what I found hard is people letting me down.
Yes.
And messing me around.
That's a real massive bugbear of mine.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I do.
And I understand that people sometimes have to let you down because they've got valid reasons.
Yeah, of course.
But when people haven't got valid reasons, and
when
it's just
people
because
just don't turn up because they've been out drinking or something.
Yeah, it's really poor.
Yeah. So I learned. I didn't use the best of the trades, but I got it done.
Yeah.
I had to rectify some things because I had some shoddy work,
But
and then I had to have it redone.
Lessons.
Exactly.
And how not to do it maybe the next time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
did you need to do, you said you did structural work to it. Did you need to do that in order to...
No.
Could you have done a bit less work?
Could have done less, but like the attic room was split into 2 rooms, and I opened it up into one big room. That was the only real structural, and it was minor really. Yeah. But we did take it back to brick, full refurb, and as soon as it was done, I was like, wow, thank God for that.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Did you live in it?
I moved in it after.
Okay.
For 6 months or so, and then I put it on the market, But then, like I say, that pain, like childbirth that you forget, 6 months, like moved in it, and I was like, right, I'm ready to go again. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I've made X amount of money. Yeah. And this is what I plan to do. Yeah. And now I'm going to go again. Yeah. So that's what.
For it.
Yeah.
You know, like, so my first, not my first property, but my first investment property.
Yeah.
I bridged that first.
Oh,
I
did you?
didn't have a clue what bridging was, you know. And so I just knew that I needed to be able to read.
That's quite scary.
I only got a 6-month bridge. I know.
What did you have to do? Extend it?
No, I managed to. You won't be able to do it now, but I just managed to get it through. So I managed to refurb it and like refinance it in that time.
Oh wow, that was really good.
Was, yeah, but that was very squeaky. I was thinking panic.
Doing those strategies that you didn't really.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then for that bridging, like from lessons you learn, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't never do anything less than 12 months.
No.
Always 12.
Well, no, because even if you do it in less time, you can always
exactly
come out
just giving you that. But again, I have that cost mindset, thinking, oh, that's how many thousands of pounds interest.
I don't want to pay more than I need to.
Don't want to pay it. But with bridging anyway, if you don't use it for the term, you don't have to pay it. You get it when you get your money back. So yeah.
Oh, well, that was good.
Yeah. Bit off piste a bit, but then
no, but it just shows you as well, like. Sometimes you're doing these things you don't really know, but then once you've actually got the knowledge and the understanding, I enjoy use it to your ability.
I enjoy the single lets, and I know they're not going to give you a massive cash flow, but I do really like the normal, just the
bread
vanilla.
And butter.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And I feel like more.
They're not noisy either, are they?
They're not. And I feel like more people now are trying to get creative into the different strategies. There's a lot of opportunity with buy-to-lets.
It depends what you want, doesn't it? Like I'm working with bespoke investors, and a lot of them want cash flow, and obviously you don't get your cash flow as such from your buy-to-let. So it just depends on what that person's
I guess
goal
on volume
is.
Though. You do want if you had volume.
Yeah, and you'll get the capital appreciation, of course.
It does depend on what you want, doesn't it?
So so I've been renovating and flipping properties now since 2017.
Okay.
But not in any business format, just always alongside my day job, working full time. And I knew that I wanted to go into property full time, but just with having the children so close together, I just
very close.
Just not had a gap within pregnancy to basically to start. Do you know what as well? So January 20. So what would this have been? January 23.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, January 2023. 1st of January, I always write my goals and I stick them on the fridge. And they're there. Everyone can see them. And I'd put on there, start my property business.
Okay.
Along with some other ones, but start my property business was the top line. I've still got the piece of paper. It was the top goal.
You can tick that off now then?
I can tick that off now, yeah. Only 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. So it put it on the back burner again.
Yeah.
So what happened for me was I was working as a business development manager for a big nail care company. And I got the opportunity, voluntary redundancy came up in September 2020.
But that was so daunting, being pregnant.
Do you know what? It wasn't.
Okay.
I think because this idea had been festering in me for so long. You had that gut
feeling.
I was just so ready. All I wanted to do was start property, but I had a loyalty to my employers. They'd been so good to me. Yeah. Whilst I'd been doing back-to-back pregnancies. So in my heart, I knew...
This paid you constantly for not being...
Yeah, I know. I knew that I needed to go back and do a good job, which was my plan. Yeah. Then the voluntary redundancy came up for the whole team. I mean, even my boss, he'd been there 25 years. And for me, it was just like, it was a no-brainer. This is what I need to do. Yeah. Now is the time. I can start my property business. However... It was 2 weeks away from me giving birth to baby number 3.
Oh, God. You don't do things by half, do you?
I mean, definitely not by half, yeah.
That must have been a scary time, though.
Yeah, but like I say, I mean, I remember we'd had a big national conference. We'd all been in Manchester together, all the girls and our boss and everything. It was amazing. We knew something was brewing. They were all really worried. Yeah. And I just wasn't. And I think because for me,
something to go to.
Yeah, it was like the sign for me. This is the time now. Go and do it. Yeah, and I've really felt for them because obviously it was a big thing for them. But for me, yes, I was 2 weeks off giving birth, but it meant I'd got
that time.
Yeah, I was going to be on maternity.
What I love about you is we're very similar. You're such an action taker. You know, that could have really put someone off. Yeah. But then you've just saw the opportunity and made it into something. Like now's the time, and you've just grown.
Yeah, because also. You technically would have been on maternity when we met, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and that's another reason why I've kind of decided to accelerate my property career. I think my turning point was like, right, I've got to do something. I've got to find an alternative to grow it. I'd not been in my new job I got caught pregnant with Enzo. But I've not been at work long enough to qualify for the
maternity package.
Not statutory, the maternity package, which is a great in our company. You get 6 months.
That was like what I got.
I missed it by 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Well, listen to this then. 3rd pregnancy. Yeah. I missed it by a week.
a week.
I was not back soon enough after my last pregnancy.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the company. It's the HMRC.
Yeah.
I missed it by, honestly, a week.
I mean, my company who I work for was amazing. They couldn't do anything about the maternity. However, they made my return to work really comfortable and just made me feel at ease. Like, there was no pressure.
Because you went back really early, didn't you?
I could have stayed off longer, but then, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, there's another bit of mum guilt. I didn't want to, selfishly, I didn't want to use my savings to live.
Yeah.
I wanted to use my savings to invest it. So I made the decision.
How long did you go back after Enzo?
3 months.
Yeah.
And it was, and I think
that was hard.
It was a bit, I felt, I had to do it. Oh, I could have stayed off longer, but then financially, it would have been a real strain. So I was backed into a corner, really. I had to do it. And I had the mum guilt of putting Enzo in nursery at 3 months, like he was the youngest baby there. But then I just thought I'm doing it for the right reasons. And but from that point, I'm like, right, I don't want to, I want time with my babies. Like, I want time. Yeah. I didn't want to go back really, but I felt like I had to. And I didn't want that. I wanted, like I said, I want to give the kids choices. I want to give myself choices. So that's why I've kind of decided to accelerate it.
It's a battle, isn't it? And you made that decision, and it's something you probably will always sort of ponder, because it's so hard. It is. No matter what age they are.
He's not suffered though. Like,
no, of course not. He would have grown.
What was my kind of, is it saving grace, like, of it? Ellis went to nursery at 6 months through COVID, and she thrived, whereas other kids didn't. She's never been needy, clingy, and Enzo hasn't either. So it doesn't, I know we just have the mum guilt. They don't know.
No, of course not.
And I'll always tell him the reason why, do you know?
And the thing is, by the time he comes to an age to realise, you'll be around a lot more then anyway. And
be more present.
And you'll have that life that you're trying to achieve for him, and it will pay off.
Yeah.
But obviously, again, that's just that pressure of a mum, whether that's in property or a bit like your day job is not property, your main day job. It's that pressure of getting the balance. Do I go back to work, or do I sacrifice what I want for my future?
And it's not only that as well. I think my mindset's completely changed. I would have been so worried about what people think of me for doing that, going back earlier. But I kind of recently, I'd say over the last year, I just thought, I don't really care what, as long as I understand why I'm doing it and
what you're trying to achieve.
And it's I've kind of blanked it out, because I think before a year ago, I would have really struggled and probably not done it, just because of what people think.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's a bit, some people might listen to this and think that you've lost time there, but yeah.
I mean, gosh, there'll be people that have gone back within weeks. I have got friends that are hairdressers and are self-employed, and they've had to go back within 3 weeks because they're either on their own or they need the money, and it's tough.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women out there that do have to they don't want to go back to work,
people
but they
judge them, don't they? And it's not right to judge, because other people don't know. Not everyone's fortunate to get 6 months full pay maternity and whatnot.
Any maternity.
You've got to deal with the cards that you've got, haven't you? You've got to make you've got to make it work.
You've got to do what feels right for you. And like you say, you knew what the end goal was. So he's gone, you're putting that money aside to build a good future.
Yeah.
And
well, put it this way, if I had gone back, stayed off work longer, I wouldn't be buying my 4th property.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the reason why, isn't it?
Exactly that.
So, I can resonate with that so much. Like, at the minute, I'm really, but on probably like the other side of it to you, because I'm around and my work is flexible and I can do it around the kids. Like, I mean, I even take the kids on viewings with me.
Yeah. How do you find that?
It's not always ideal, depending on the property. I mean, some of these properties are in dire state, but I take, like, if I have to, I will take them on a viewing, and I put the baby in the carrier.
I saw a picture of you. You had one in the sling, double buggy, like walking.
I mean, it is a bit of an... And I remember the first one I went to, I've always been so, like, career-driven, ambitious and professional, and I felt I was really letting myself down, but I just thought this was the only day they could do, and I've got to... You've got to take
opportunities when they come, haven't you?
Yeah, and I thought I had a back-to-back day of auction with this same company.
Yeah.
So you don't say what days you can do. They're open houses, they're pre-booked.
Aren't they?
And I just thought, you know what? I've just got to do it. I've got to take them. So what they think of me, I need to view these properties.
You're making an impression.
Yeah, and then it's funny actually, because Charles from the auction company.
Yeah.
He has a laugh with me, and I took, well, this day I just took 2 of them, one in the carrier, one in the pram, and I'm like racing around these properties, and the house was full anyway. It wasn't just me, there were lots of people there, and he's like, oh, I'll just watch them while you nip upstairs, Chloe. And it's funny because like if I phone up now, I'm like, hi Charles, it's me with the kids.
He knows who you are.
Exactly, he knows who I am, but probably the whole office probably knows who I am.
I haven't taken Enzo, I don't think, on a viewing, but I've taken Ellis to a lot, and I like to involve her.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it's an empty property, the last one we went to was in the Peaks. She was doing cartwheels all around the house. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Was there vendors there?
It was empty, but the agent, yeah. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, she was just doing cartwheels, and she's like, oh, we moved. She thinks we're going to move into every house. I'm like, she doesn't understand yet.
So she's telling all your family, we're moving house again.
Yeah, and I bet at school, they're like, how many houses are you moving to? But yeah, funny.
It's funny what they go and tell people.
I'm glad that you take kids on the viewings, and I you do, like you say, you worry, don't you, like what people think and whatnot. Yeah. But I think it's absolutely, you got to do what you got to do, haven't you? Like if it means you're going to lose out on a deal or not, I think people are more since COVID, I think hybrid working, everyone's a lot more understanding.
People expect it now, don't they? Kids to be around. They're not a secret.
No.
Like, and I think that's what you've sort of got to get your head around. Like, I've got kids. Yeah. That is my life. Yeah. But I am me, and I have a business, and I am ambitious, and
you can still be professional. You said you were worried about being professional.
Yeah.
You can still, you've got a very professional manner, so you still come across professional.
Yeah.
Go on. Well, tell me the other day.
Oh, God. So I'm doing sourcing.
Yeah.
So, well, sort of going back a little bit. So I took the voluntary redundancy 2 weeks before Lowen, which is baby number 3. Yeah. And started like watching the webinars and listening to all the podcasts. Mm-hmm. I listened to Simon. Then I got on to Mark Fitzgerald. Mm-hmm. Really resonated with him. He's got a great voice. Love listening to him.
He's so calming, isn't he?
He's so calming.
He's so tall, though. I had a picture with him the other day, and it's like
he is really tall, yeah.
Funny.
And what I didn't realise at first, but he's from Sheffield. Yeah. And his events that he used to go to was the Property Investors Network in Sheffield. So same like you, obviously he mentioned the code for the free visit. Yeah. So I booked on, hence why I went in January, which is when we met. And a bit like you, it was a bit of a learning. I didn't really know what I was going to do in property. Mm-hmm. Like I'd always done flips and renovations, but I didn't have all my money was tied up. So I didn't have any more to invest. Yeah. So I wasn't really sure what path I was going to take. And it was a bit of a learning curve. And then I sort of arrived at sourcing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like my skills, I've had my own business, I've managed people, and I've come from a sales and business development background, so I feel like sourcing is a natural progression for me. Yeah, I can solve problems, I can grow people's businesses. So if somebody's looking to grow a portfolio and again they want to accelerate and do it rapidly, I know how we can get there. I'm really good with numbers and analysing. So I feel like sourcing was a really good option. And I think as well, no matter what strategy you choose, even if you pay a sourcer, you still need to understand the fundamentals of sourcing. Yeah. So I thought that is a good starting ground for me, no matter what I go on to do. Plus, because I've been grown up in an area which is a strong community, and I've been renovating properties, I have got really good connections with the agents, the mortgage brokers, I've got a really strong team.
It's really key, isn't it, have building that support and your power team, isn't it, around? Because that's, what is it to say, your network
is your net worth.
Yeah.
And I've built that, and I've got really good people around me. I've still got more connections to grow. Yes. I've got really good people. So I've gone down the sourcing route. But anyway, I had a discovery call. This is about 6 weeks ago now, with some new investors that was potentially wanting to come on board. Yeah. They are Dutch, so they're based in the Netherlands, and a broker that I work really closely with, George, he'd passed them on to me. So we planned this Zoom meeting, and they needed it to be this particular day. And that particular day is a Wednesday, or it might have been a Friday, when I have all 3 children at home. So I strategically planned it around my consistent nap time. Like, as I say, I'm regimented.
I think the key word there is consistent nap time.
They go down every single day, like clockwork, the same time, all three of them to a T. Like, I've nailed this down. But of course, not that day. That one particular day, my eldest, who's 3, decided he was not going to nap. So I'm sat in the living room on the Zoom. I'd put him in the kitchen and said, please, just stay in here. Mummy's got work to do. Of course, no. He'd come in and he keeps jumping on the Zoom call. Then the next thing, because we've just had our garage converted at home. So then the next thing, the joiner's banging on the window because he's back from his lunch break, wanting me to let him in. So it's all a bit chaos. And so I keep trying to like move Bray out of the shot of the Zoom and stuff. Anyway, it was clear he was being very disruptive. So I had to say to the investors, like, would you please just excuse me? They were laughing, but they were like, I said, please, would you just excuse me for 1 minute? And anyway, pulled him into the kitchen, which is like open plan kitchen diner area.
Was you on mute?
I muted that. I muted the Zoom call. I sat him down. I went, sit down here now. Do not move. I am on a very business call. You sit in here. You do not come in. The joiner's looking at me like, oh, gosh, she means business. Thankfully, he's a friend, so he knows what I'm like. Anyway, I returned back to my Zoom call, sat down. I went, oh, I'm ever so sorry about that. Work mode came back on.
My cheeks are hurting.
My voice had gone. Professional mode. I was like, I'm so sorry. Thankfully, they were fine. Anyway, before the end of the call, he comes running back in, practically plonks himself on me. I'm just finishing up at this point, so I'm trying to rush it through. And I was like, thank you so much for your time. Goodbye. And then Bray goes, bye-bye, poo-poo head.
Oh, God.
I was just like, oh, my God,
You're just gonna laugh.
Please swallow me up. I was mortified. I was like, oh, please. And also because George had passed them over and I didn't want bad word getting back to him either.
I mean, why would it be a bad word though?
I know, like, you just think that you've got to be
now
super
that's
professional.
Happened, you just like, oh, it is what it is, it's life.
Yeah, well, I thought, do you know what, I can't change it. Anyway, the next day we were actually at a Halloween party and they WhatsApped me to say we'd love to go ahead with you. So, and I've had another
bye-bye poo-poo head works.
Oh, well, I've had another Zoom call with them, a follow-up call about a deal that I put forward with them, and Ray was around and he said poo-poo head again. So I think that's just what they expect now.
I had a very, like you're saying, it happened a couple of weeks ago. That happened to me last night. So Ellis normally goes dancing at 5 o'clock, right? I don't know, again, Mum Gil, I miss all the communications. I don't sit on Facebook watching it.
Oh, it wasn't cancelled.
It was cancelled. So Dom took her shopping, food shopping. So I managed to keep, when she came, so I had it just Enzo and I put Peppa Pig on and he was quite relaxed. And then she came back.
There's certain shows, isn't there, you think, right, if I put that on, I know
he's all right.
I've got like 20 minutes.
Exactly. But then Ellie saw she's a disruptive one. But this call was going on quite some time. We had a really good conversation
and this
going.
Was with the finance guy.
This was with the finance guy, yeah. But then she came back and there was fighting. They were biting, and I'm doing the same as you. I'm like miming to get Dom to get them out. Saying, get out. And I'm like, but then I felt better because his kids came in, and they were doing the same. So I'm like, I'm so thankful that your kids are the same.
It's like a relief, isn't it, to know that
so everyone's in the same boat.
It's normal.
Yeah, it is normal. Like everyone's in the same boat.
And I think, like you said, since COVID, that has normalised a lot more. But I think, we just try and act professional, don't we? And then, but we're all good. This is the thing. And
then when you shout at them, mum guilt kicks in again.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything
wrong. They're just being
kids.
kids.
You want to do your meeting.
Exactly.
But and again, obviously, this links back to why we want to do mums in property, because there's so many mums out there that will be experiencing all these things and even funnier things.
And dealing with that mum guilt, like thinking that they're on their own about it, like they're bad for doing it, and it's not, is it?
No. Let's normalise it. Let's normalise having Zoom calls. Kids around, there's chaos, there's noise, but as long as the job gets done and it gets done properly, that is ultimately all that matters, isn't it?
And I think very expanding on that a bit, like definitely we want to have that community, don't we? We want to be able to bring mums together, invite people on the show, podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
Podcast, and just talk about real journeys.
Real
like
life.
real life journeys, and just make sure that people aren't alone. And I think, am I able to say it, like what our end goals are?
Yeah,
do you wanna,
definitely.
Do you want to say that?
It.
Yeah. So I think we've spoke about this in depth, isn't it? So you love a spa for relaxing and getting all your collectiveness together and being productive.
Not relaxing.
Okay, productivity.
When I go to a spa, I'm working.
And you've been
They're
productive.
on my creative days.
Creative, but it's still relaxing at the same time.
Yeah,
having a foot massage. Oh, not a foot massage, actually. I don't like feet.
Oh, yeah, I love a foot massage.
I don't know. Anyway, lost my train of thought now. Having like a retreat for mums to go to be able to be productive, have time away from the kids, zone in the goals, and bounce back. Yeah, and then hopefully just grow the community, like a WhatsApp community, have like networking events. That's like our goal, isn't it?
That's the end goal. Yeah. So I mean, obviously we're open to ideas as well. So if anyone's got any ideas of what they feel they would want from a community, then we're definitely open to that. But we feel like there is a gap in the market.
Definitely.
We want that supportive network because whether you're a mum or whether you're in property or whether like you're just wanting to get into a business, it doesn't have to be property, and you just want that accountability and you want that support, and you want someone to lean on or to say, oh, I faced this problem today, or I've got the kids, but I need to view this house. What should I do?
Yeah.
And to know that other mums have done it and have succeeded from doing it, just really helps, isn't it? But the idea with the retreat is, I think mums can definitely bounce some really good ideas off each other. Women can really bounce ideas. And I think when you take that time away from your busy schedule to sit and really plan out what you want to achieve, set your goals.
A mindset, like that positive mindset. Yeah. Definitely.
Because I think that's what can hold you back.
Mindset's everything. Without the right mindset, you're not going to achieve anything, are you?
And you can be your own worst
critique, can't you?
Yeah, and it's half the time it's only you holding you back, nobody else. It's you stopping yourself, and you've got to build that confidence. You can do it. Yes, it's not going to be easy, but like they always say, anything worth doing isn't easy. It depends what you want to achieve, and you just go at your own pace.
And I think, for the community as well, I think what I'd love to be able to do is like help people push out the comfort zone, because it's so easy to stay in that comfort zone and do what you're comfortable with, but you're never going to grow, are you? And I think you're my biggest supporter on that, in terms of pushing me and like saying, you need to do that, go for it, you can do it.
Well, like we've said, there's been times when I've had a little dip and think, oh gosh, I'm struggling, or I'm not hitting where I should be, and then you'll pick me up and you're like, no, remember,
look where you've come, like you've done this, that and that. And I think, I know me, and like you're so focused on that, the end big goals, like you forget about all the little goals that it takes,
the little wins.
And without them little wins, you're never gonna. You need the little wins to get to the big goal.
You've got to take those little steps. And I know that there will be people listening, and you might not have the support around you, like whatever idea you might have, a business idea, you might want to set up a florist, or you might want to set up a salon, or whatever it might be, and you might not have the backing from family or friends, or no one in your family might have ever been self-employed or had a business, and it's knowing the routes that you can go down. And whilst we obviously don't have the information for specific industries, we're in the property world, we definitely know that starting out in business, it is tough, but it does pay off, and there is so much support out there. And I think even just all the networking events that we've done, and the networking groups, and like you're on your mastermind, and well, I've even actually just started last night. I've not even had a chance to tell you, but
what is it?
Paul Stapleton. I've just started his mentoring program for 10 weeks. So he does
amazing
sourcing and things. And
is that from just by sitting on his table at the Entrepreneur?
Yeah, I've been to obviously a couple of his events. I've spoken to him a few times. I'm in a WhatsApp group.
Is it mindset? Is it, or what is it?
It's everything. So it is a sourcing masterclass. So there's people on there of mixed experience, and he will be guiding them from start to finish of setting up in sourcing. But also it's accountability and mentoring. So I have obviously started my sourcing business, and I am working with bespoke investors. So he said, like, bring deals every week.
Deal clinic, and you go
a bit of a deal clinic, or anything you're struggling to maybe get a deal over, or what challenges you're facing.
Yeah.
So, and then there's obviously a community of us. We're working together. So I might be able to offer advice to the ones that are just sort of at the first hurdle. And obviously Paul can offer advice to me where I'm at.
Amazing.
But I think having that community where you can bounce these ideas off one another, or where you can just share what you're struggling with. Because life is real, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you need that, because property can be like, not just property, but like I say, running your own business can be lonely, especially when you've not got that network around you. And it's not that people don't want to support you, because it's more about having the understanding, isn't it? Reaching out and having someone who like really understands what you're going through, and the struggles,
and working together. Like, it's I think, because I remember actually, Ben, when I first started out in property, and when I came back from PIN, and I'd say about all these people, and he was like, well, aren't you all in competition together? And I was like, no, it's not like that at all. Nobody comes across.
It's bizarre, isn't it? You think like they're going to be.
Nobody is, are they?
No. I don't think I've ever been to one networking event where someone is like being offish or not wanting to include you or share what they're going through.
Even if they're doing it. In fact, I had someone on LinkedIn yesterday.
So I've got a hair.
James, who comes to PIN, and he does a lot of the other networking. And he tagged me and another sourcing agent in a really nice post about, like, we're all sources and we're all doing slightly different things, but, you know, like how we can do well together. And so, I think you've got to surround yourself with people, not be afraid to open up, not be guarded, and that way you'll grow and develop. If you keep yourself closed off, you're never going to achieve everything you want to achieve. No, but exactly just open your mind, let your guard down.
I mean, if I stayed in my comfort zone, I would never doing this now. Like, this is a step out of my comfort zone.
Doing the podcast.
But you just got to try and blank it out and just do it. Yeah. And it hopefully it'll, like, by pushing yourself out there, you're going to reap the benefits.
Exactly. Yeah. It's how we grow, isn't it? And things are changing all the time. And what we've been doing has maybe worked for so many years, but now it's, if we want to level up,
we've got to,
this is what we've got to do.
Take that step up.
So what are your goals then? Obviously, we're coming to the end now of December 2024. What are your goals looking like heading into the new year?
What, into 2025? So really want to close down these deals in the Lake District. So I don't know if I've said already, but our focus area is the Lake District and the Peak District for high-end holiday lets. Yeah. So that's what our pipeline is consisting of. There is a wedding venue in there as well at some, but that's a different one for a different day. But I want to close down those deals. And I really want.
And how many deals are there
in the lakes?
Yeah, or just in general, how many deals have you got going on?
So there's 2 in the lakes.
Yeah.
And then I have 1 in Essex.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 1 in Essex, and then I've also got 1 in the Peak District, which is the wedding venue. Which I honestly, when you see, have I shown it you, the wedding venue?
No, I don't think I have seen it.
It's got so much potential. But that's a different story for a different day. But so that's what I want to own down, and I want to continue to grow, like on a personal level. So in January, every year in January in the PIN network and the PIN networking events, you've got opportunities for people on the mastermind workshop to go and take a slot to talk about your journey and your project.
You're going to be a keynote speaker.
I'm going to be a speaker, and again, out of my comfort zone, but I'm confident in what.
Also, how weird is that you're actually going to be speaking on your year anniversary of attending PIN?
I better get, Paul listening, little hamper
little
thing,
plaque.
little plaque. No, not a goodie bag. Yeah. But no, that's my goal, and I really want to just.
That's our anniversary.
I know. I'll have a drink after, or maybe not.
Should we stay over? Mum's on the loose, round 2.
On a Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday. Yeah. So again, out of my comfort zone, but it's a great opportunity to raise my profile, speak about what I'm doing. So and I want to probably grow that more.
And also just think as well, because January, it's always new year, new start, you've got goals, hence why we both went in January.
Yeah.
Think how many newbies there will be there sat on that front row that can look to you and think, wow, only a year ago, she was sat where I am.
Talking about looking back at the small wins.
Yeah.
The person I was a year ago, I would never have dreamed to say I'm going to be standing up.
Speaking about my journey.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm a mastermind.
A masterminder, and so it's going to be. So they're the key ones, and I just want a bit of time back as well. I want to close my deals down, generate the incoming cash flow, and just continue continue.
So is that what your focus is? Building cash flow.
Building cash flow. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, so I've got my bespoke investors that I'm working with, and we've got a few deals going through at the moment. So I'm working with, obviously, the overseas investors. I'm working with some investors from down south, and then I have actually got some local investors as well. Nice. So that's really good, and I'm going to be project managing for all of those as well, which I absolutely love, and obviously really experienced in that element of it. And I think... Well, I'm hoping potentially in January I will be flying out to the Houghton Pin.
Amazing. Oh, is that in Holland?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was right. Amsterdam.
So, I'm not sure.
I'm rubbish.
It's Amsterdam. Houghton.
No idea, but
So George, who is the finance guy, he's actually there.
You'll see Loki.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's their resident broker over there.
Okay.
So he does his presentation every month.
So that's how the connections have come in then.
Yes. Yeah. And so I want to build on that over there and really work with the Dutch investors because it's hard for them. Obviously, they're investing in another country. Yeah. They don't have eyes and ears on the ground, and
things work differently as well, don't they?
So they want to obviously work with sources that they can build a relationship with, that can offer end-to-end service, which is what I can do. And so I think by going, even though I've been lucky that I've built the relationships just over Zoom, it'd be nice to go over as well and actually meet people in person and show my face.
So when are you going to do that?
So hopefully the January one.
Okay.
It is moving locations, I know, George said, but I think that's not till April. So hopefully in January I'm going to go over.
Yeah.
And so concentrating on my clients and getting their deals through, and then hopefully working on building a portfolio for myself. Yeah. So I've always done renovations and flipped them, but now I actually want to start building a portfolio.
Nice. Yeah.
Probably HMOs, which is what I source for my clients as well. And start just building up a bit. And eventually I want to go into commercial.
We missed something off.
What?
Both of us missed something.
What?
Want us to get on that stage.
Oh, we said it.
Oh, just now?
The pin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You mean get on that stage
for our goal for
have an award?
Year. Yeah. So I think next year, put ourselves out, really elevate ourselves.
Yes. To giving something back as well. Yes. For the mums in property.
Yeah, and share our experiences, help other mums grow, help other individuals grow. Hopefully some people can get value from our journey, lessons that we've learned, and obviously just continue to network. I think networking is such a powerful, powerful thing. Yeah. I've met some amazing people this year, and I don't think you need to market when you've got the right people. And if you go to the right events and build those right connections, you don't even need, it's like even with investors, you don't need lots of investors. You just need
the right ones.
The right ones. Yeah. Do a good job by them, and then you'll have a long lasting working relationship.
Definitely.
So that's what I want to concentrate on, and just start looking at just growing. I think for me, I've really taken this year steady, and I've really gone at my own pace. And I know
you say you've gone steady. You've achieved a lot, and you've learned a lot, and you've grown a lot.
Yes.
So you're just preparing. You got in the foundations right to then.
Yeah, to elevate.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this is definitely. I was thinking about this morning. This has been the year of personal development.
Yes,
for me.
Exactly.
Learning, growing, connecting.
And I think I'm the same as that,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would say that as well, because I know you've said before you feel like, I feel like I should be further ahead than I am, but I think we've done it right. We've sort of taken a step back.
Yeah, invested in ourselves and
yeah, taken everything on board, and when we go, we will go.
Yeah,
and we will hit it hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. So, yeah, but I do think now I'm holding myself back a little bit. I need to
go. You're in your comfort zone again.
Yes.
You need to push out for the next one.
And that's what I think by being on now Paul's mentoring program. I think he will give me that bit of a push. He kind of knows what I'm doing.
Amazing.
Like, he knows I'm at lots of events and stuff, so I think he'll just push me forward a little bit more. And so yeah,
I'm really excited for 2025.
I am. It's going to be a great year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got so much to look forward to.
Definitely, yeah. We've got some more retreats to go to as well, haven't we? Together, we're going to take up the
Need to be on our best behaviour.
Yes. We'll try.
I'm not going to... You led me astray.
No, absolutely. I'm not being responsible. I'll be responsible for the Jaeger bombs.
Why don't we go to a...
alcohol-free
event?
Yeah. A spa. You can even get alcohol in the spa now, can't you? Not like... Don't know why you would, but yeah.
I've had a glass of Prosecco.
I think we're both as bad as each other. I think we've got that good energy together.
We have.
That we just get giddy.
Yeah. But do you know what?
It's good. We're young.
Balance.
You've
got to let your hair down.
You have.
And like we said before,
work hard and play even harder.
Yeah. We're good moms. We're good family people. We're building businesses.
We're allowed to have that outburst and that little bit of a downtime.
Yeah. And do you know what? I was talking with James and Vicky.
Okay, yeah.
So they were sat next to me at the pin. Yeah. And they're also, I thought they'd started in January, but they started in March.
Yeah.
So only a couple of months after us. So I feel like we've got a little group of us, haven't we? Niall as well.
Yeah.
We all sort of started at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah.
But they were saying that they also, at the moment, like, you get invited to stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not really, like, no disrespect to anyone's inviting me. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to go out at the minute.
Yeah.
And if I go out, I want it to be productive.
Yes.
So if I go out, I want it to be an event, or I want it to be a networking where I'm mixing pleasure with business.
Yes.
I don't want to just go out on a general night out.
Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I think then it has a knock-on effect, doesn't it? Because then you'll go out and then you're not productive then the next day.
And that's the last weekend is a prime example. In fact, I was productive. I think I was being overproductive, knowing that after a weekend it takes me ages to recover.
Yeah.
But I got all the nitty-gritty bits done. I just was struggling mentally elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? Which you just take it out. Have you done it? Yeah. I think alcohol is a drug at the end of the day, isn't it? And I think it just messes up your balances. It's like, it takes me ages to recover.
And then you get guilt again because you feel a bit sluggish and tired and a bit ratty.
Not switched on, and it just puts you, especially when you're in that element of growth, it just sets you back, doesn't it, a little bit?
And I just think I've had my days of partying. Yeah. I really party hard back in the day. And I've done it. And obviously not that I'm not going to do it. We let our hair down at the Pin Awards. But I'm all about growth now and business.
Once we've got to where we want to get to, I think then it's probably a bit more, we can breathe a little bit more. Yeah.
I feel like this is going to get thrown back in my face. The first retreat we do, they were like, I thought you didn't want to let your hair down.
What? Get the Prosecco.
But so, I think there's...
I can imagine that. No Jaeger bombs.
No, I don't even remember having Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, you did.
So that is your fault.
The Jaeger bombs are my fault, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I didn't fall asleep, so that's a bonus. I normally fall asleep when I've had a drink.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I'll dance and then just fall asleep, so...
I think I was dancing far too much. Broke my elbow. Not technically, but it feels broken. It's still really sore. So, have you got anything else?
No, I think that's about it for today, don't you? Yeah. So, we just... really, really appreciate it. Give us feedback, what you thought to this episode and coming episodes. Yeah. But please help us to grow this community. Even if it's not for yourself, you might know somebody
to share it.
Who can share it. And if you could please give us a like, a follow, and leave us a comment, that would be great. But
amazing.
We hope you have enjoyed the first episode of Mums in Property.
Real Finance have strong relationships with specialist lenders, eager to support entrepreneurs and business, providing unique and competitive financial solutions designed specifically for you. They are hands-on, supporting you developing your plans before seeking financing. They build long-lasting relationships with clients and lenders based on trust, integrity, and swift execution. Contact Real Finance today and let them achieve your financial goals.